Do you want to know how you can make $2,000 a month in positive cash flow? Keep watching. What is up, guys? I'm with Andrew. We're in Simcoe, Ontario. We just picked up this beautiful fourplex for $500,000. Let's go take a look. So we do have a one structure here. It's a 4-bedroom home. It's renting for $1,800 plus utilities. We have a barn here that was retrofitted into a triplex. It's 3 one-bedrooms. One of them goes for $1,200, the other one goes for $14, and another one for $15. There's also a garage attached to that structure that rents for $400. Right over here, we do have a parking lot, and there's gonna be a gentleman parking some trailers there for $100 a month. In total, we're over $6,000 in rents.
All right, guys, so this is the main building on the property. I want to give some context to this. This is actually a 4-bedroom house. It's got 2 bathrooms, and it is absolutely massive. Let me show you around and take a look. This is the living space. You have these nice old wooden beams going across the ceiling. It has a little bit of old character, but we can actually modernize this a little bit just to bring things up to speed, and I think it'll look amazing. Now, as we go over here, there is a washroom over here. It's actually a really nice washroom. As we go in, you don't have to change too much. You can leave everything more or less the way it is, but we are going to be doing some upgrades. Even in here, we're doing laundry and whatever it is that we need to do. Now, this is another living space, or you can use it as a bedroom. But here in the kitchen, if you look at this, you got nice cabinets, and I'm surprised that we actually got this property with these cabinets in it, because this is actually a good kitchen. I wouldn't change anything in here. Moving into the upstairs area, as you can see, when we're looking at this, there is a lot of work to be done over here, but going upstairs, this is all cosmetic work that we can fix. Now, we are missing some common amenities. We don't have AC in the building, but we can install those window AC units. But there's 1, 2, 3 bedrooms over here and another washroom over here, and even this washroom, it's pretty okay. I'd leave it as it is. Overall, this property is an amazing buy, and it will rent for $1,800 a month for this much space. Amazing deal. All right, so now that we've shown off this project, I want to clarify something. This might sound a little bit too good to be true, so why don't we go back to the studio and explain a little bit more about how this works for context. Okay, so now that we've looked at this property, I want to stress one thing that is tandem to our approach here. The approach is making everything good enough. Now, what does good enough mean? It means we're not going to break the bank doing a whole bunch of things that aren't necessarily going to be bringing us returns and value to the property. Now, let's recap things really quick. We purchased this property for $500K, and the projections that we're looking at is renting out that big house area for about $1,800. We're looking at renting out the smaller unit in the triplex section for $1,200, $1,400 for the other, and $1,500 for the third. And then we have a few extra things that are adding into play here, like the garage is going for $400, and then we're renting out an extra parking spot for $100. This is over $6,000 in cash flow. What do the actual numbers look like when we go through this process? Well, basically, in terms of renovations, we're not planning on spending much more than about $20,000 on this property. And with our projected refinance, once the cash flow is coming in, we should be able to refinance this property at about $600,000 to $650,000, which is actually going to pull out most of our capital from this property. At these numbers, it doesn't even matter really what the actual numbers come out to. Even if you're just ballparking, this is making money turnkey. Like, nothing needs to be said about this. At 1.8% interest, our bills are pretty negligible. This is providing, I think, about a little over $2,000 a month positive cash flow. So it's great for anybody, but there are pros and cons to it. Let's go over that. Now, let's say you're a real estate investor from Toronto, or you're just not from Simcoe, and you're maybe living a little farther away. The difficult part of it and the con is that this property is in Simcoe. It's kind of out in the country. It might feel like you're traveling out in the boonies just to get there. But the pro is that it's got tremendous cash flow, so you can contend with most anything. The next con is that out in Simcoe, there's not going to be a lot of infrastructure that you might be able to leverage, whether it's people that you already know from your own region that you can send over there, because it's going to be very difficult and the cost-benefit balance might not be worth it. But the pro is still lots of cash flow, so you can still deal with it. And then on the bad side of things, again, the con is that because it's out in Simcoe, you might not be facing as much appreciation as you would if it was in Toronto or another faster developing region. Pro again, massive cash flow. What is the point that I'm trying to say here is that with a lot of cash flow, you can contend with most any issue, and this makes this an amazing property. So tell me what you think. If you would buy a property like this, let me know in the comments below. If you want to know more about how to find deals like this and you're interested in cash flow properties, hit us a message. We'll be sure to get in touch. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.